Oh, it's gonna be one of those reviews.
Gingerrunner.
Ew. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, with a nice glorious beard and some nasal congestion sickness happening. Here for another gingerrunner.com review. But don't worry, I'm hyped up on all sorts of cold meds, so I'm gonna be here with plenty of energy. Woo! I apologize in advance for the congested voice and the really disgustingly gross long beard. I need to get rid of this thing. Should I get rid of it, Kim? She says no. Today we are reviewing a shoe that many of you have requested for months, even a previous version that I never reviewed. It's time for the SAUCONY Kinvara 7. I have run in so many versions of the SAUCONY Kinvara, from the 1 to the 3 to the 4 to the 5, skipped over the 6, and finally the 7. I've had such an awesome relationship with the Kinvara over the years. I've set marathon PRs, half marathon PRs. I just love it for the go-long comfort aspects. This is version 5, which is the last Kinvara that I reviewed, and I ran tons of races and tons of miles in this shoe. It still has plenty of life left. So much life that I actually skipped over version 6 because I just didn't need to review it. That is, until now. I feel it is my duty to review version 7. There have been a couple of changes, but I know many of your questions are going to revolve around, is the shoe different? Is the Kinvara the same? If I'm already in a previous version and that version is worn out, should I upgrade? The good news, it's actually not that much different. There's a couple of changes. First of all, they've incorporated an ever-run material, one of Saucony's new materials that they're incorporating into the heel area. It's essentially a more resilient, more durable EVA. The outsole is different, not by much, but enough to make you go, that's different. And I will commend them on the more refined materials in the upper. Otherwise, everything is fairly cosmetic, and even that isn't that much different. I mean, look at version 5. It's like the same shoe. So before we get into the review, do I still like the Kinvaras? Yeah, but let's get into the things that I like and dislike about this shoe, break it apart into its little intricacies before I pass out. Here we go, things that I like about the Saucony Kinvara 7. Resilient. I think that's the word that I need to use to describe it. New midsole material, that ever-run material. It's meant to hold up, and it has. After many, many runs and many miles in the shoe, it's holding up damn well. It's resilient. The upper is super strong, durable, resilient. And I really like that the shoe isn't flattening out yet. There's one thing I actually noticed with previous versions of the Kinvara is that it tends to flatten out a little prematurely. You still get plenty of wear out of it, but good thing that this version is resilient. Light. We're still going sub 8 ounces in this shoe. Bingo. Compared to version 5, we're actually losing 2 grams. These two shoes weigh 2 grams different, 2 grams lighter. 2 grams is really not a lot. That could literally just mean that this doesn't have as much sweat caked into the fabric as my version 5 does. But I like to see that the shoe maintains its light body and flavor. Here come the meds. The upper. Always like the upper in the Kinvaras. The flex film is used a lot more sparingly in this version compared to the previous version. You're getting a little bit of it up in the forefoot, not a lot in the heel counter at all. But yet you still have plenty of room up front. Nothing is really constrained or restricted. Like the upper. And finally, this is the most important like for me in this shoe. It's the same Kinvara. The shoe itself is still great for training long distances, training for a marathon, a half marathon, even beyond that in road distances. This is the shoe that you can train hard for a marathon and then race a marathon in. It's durable, it's resilient, it's just great. I definitely like that the Kinvara has not changed too much. Doesn't mean the shoe's not without the dislikes. Things I dislike about the Kinvara 7. Pro lock. These two midfoot locking mechanisms that are attached to the laces, just get rid of it. Get rid of the pro lock. It makes for an uneven foot feel. Difficult when you start lacing it up, but I'm not into it. Get rid of it. Heel counter. I had a lot of issues getting this shoe on and off without folding down the heel counter and then it getting stuck within itself. It's a pet peeve of mine. I constantly have to dig my finger into this heel counter to unfold the fabrics within it. First shoe I've had as many problems with it as I've had with this one. What? Finally, too responsive? I'm a fan of a responsive shoe. The shoe has changed a bit in that department. It's not nearly as cushioned as I remember even running in this old pair side by side. We're losing a bit of cushion for that resiliency, which I mentioned earlier, and responsiveness. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I just want to point it out. If you're still looking for that super absorbent, cushioned long run feel, you're gonna get it. It's just not gonna be quite as soft. And that is it for dislikes. This shoe still remains on the top of my list of really good road running shoes that I enjoy going long distances in. Still fits my foot, still super comfortable. It rolls smooth and wonderfully throughout the foot strike, and it brings me tons of joy. And joy is good, especially when running. Keep the joy in your life. Keep on lifing. I better wrap this up. Let's get on with the points. Quality, I'm gonna give them 4 out of 5, mainly because of the heel issue. Just was driving me crazy, and the Pro Lock as well. Otherwise, I can definitely see the shoe lasting a long time, which is good. Comfort, also gonna give them 4 out of 5. A bit more responsive than I remember the previous versions being, but man, it is still a comfortable shoe that will help you go long and fast. Price at $110. 4 out of 5. Solid 4 out of 5. That is almost a 5 out of 5 for me just because I know you are getting so much shoe, and a shoe that's definitely going to last you a long time. Example, I'm still running in the 5, so that's good. And finally, looks, 4 out of 5. They haven't changed the looks much, which is a good and a bad thing. Definitely takes some risks. And that brings our grand total to 16 out of 20 for the SAUCONY Kinvara 7. Huge score, great score, solid score from a shoe that I run in all the time, train in all the time, and have a really great history with. Just digging it. And that is it for this review. If you guys have any more questions about the shoe or want to get a discount, remember the link in the description plus the coupon code will do that over at Running Warehouse. And if you like this review, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel at youtube.com/thegingerrunner so you can get updated every time I upload a new video, which is twice a week. And make sure you subscribe across social media over on Twitter. It's at The Ginger Runner on Facebook, facebook.com/TheGingerRunner. On Instagram, it's at Ethan Newberry, and of course, gingerrunner.com. Every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing live shows with guests to come on, so you can always watch and interact with them. It's a lot of fun. And if you want to help keep the lights on and the mics hot, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/TheGingerRunner, and for as little as $1 a month, you help keep this channel alive. That is it. We'll see you guys next week for another review, movie, I don't know, maybe both. We'll see. Get out there, train hard, race hard, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye!